So this is a weird time for me to go live. Let's see what happens. It's 9:30 at night. It is, what is today? Thursday. And I was going to go live this morning, but got distracted. A friend of mine had to go to the hospital with his kid, and it's a whole other story. But what I was curious about is, what is the temperature of everybody's mental state of mind at this juncture with COVID? Because the temperatures have changed out here somewhat. And I was curious as to what was going on over there, wherever you are. Thanks for joining me, by the way. And my name is Paul. I'll be your host here on the PBS NewsHour. And so what's going on? Let's get to the comments. We have any comments? Anybody commenting? Nobody's commenting? Okay. Here we go. All right. So let's see. Good morning from St. Petersburg, Florida. Freddie Sanders. What's cooking? Hey, there's my buddy Ian. Ian's been putting out some videos recently. He's been very involved in some of the deaths and disappearances that have happened in Thailand. And I would check out his channel. It is some interesting stuff. And actually, Ian was with me, I think Ian, it's been what, a year and a half, 2 years, something like that, since we went to Sikihor together. And let's see here. So anyway, thanks for coming along, dude. Mike in the Philippines, Ottawa, Canada, my favorite fishing place. Right. There's some medical situations going on out here. I don't know how comfortable I am about talking about them because I don't have people's permission to do so. So I'll probably just stay mum on it. But what I've been noticing is a lot of tempers are getting short. And I don't know if it's indicative of being over here in the Philippines with a bunch of retired guys. A lot of them are military and things like that. And it's not unique to the Philippines or Vietnam or anything else. I think it's worldwide. There's a lot of folks that are suffering from PTSD after having been in the military, and just general mental issues that we all have. But that tends to mellow out, I think, with time, and age and supposedly wisdom. But I've just noticed guys that I'm interacting with, not all of them, just a percentage, have gotten kind of a little off the rails. And I think everybody's getting some cabin fever. I know that May and I have cabin fever. It's getting kind of redundant with things being closed. And then if you go somewhere, you have to stop, put on a mask, put on a shield. It fogs up my glasses. It just kind of puts me in a state of irritated. And I was just curious if that's happening with you guys too. They are rolling out some vaccines over here. So I didn't want to mention that until I knew it. But they had a little dealio where you sign up with your barangay captain out here. And I haven't done that yet, but my friend did. He got in line, and I think within an hour they'd run out of the vaccine. And if they have a vaccine that's Moderna or one of the American brands that's been tested and millions of people have had it, I have no problem taking it because I think it's going to be one of the requirements to travel. And so I don't like the idea that I can't travel unless I agree to have somebody inject me with a foreign substance. I think that's way too controlling. But at the end of the day, I think the vaccine, I've had a million vaccines, since I was a kid. I was vaccinated for everything. Vaccines are a good thing, smallpox and all that kind of jazz. So the vaccine in and of itself, I don't have a problem with. But I don't like the idea of having it to be a requirement. However, I got to thinking about that, and it's a requirement for my kids to have shots back in the day, or they couldn't go to school. So it's really nothing new, is it? I just kind of came to that realization the other day. So I guess it's for the greater good. Mr. Ron, how you doing out there, buddy? Good morning, Buffalo, New York. Well, one of my best friends in Vegas was from Buffalo. His dad was a barber. Wisconsin says hello. Glad to see you with us. Eddie Spaghetti. Mazatlan. That's where I honeymooned with my first wife, was Mazatlan. Wish I still had those pictures. Hey, Paul. There's my buddy Dad. Mindset going crazy trying to get back to St. Pete, Florida, and do a Joyce again and to toss back some coffee with you and Duma. Yeah, man. Make it happen, please. We need to hit the coffee bar. Coffee bars have gotten really silly. May and I have kind of stopped going. They've turned off the air conditioning and there's no internet. So it's kind of like, why would I go there and swelter for $6 cup of coffee? But we have found a new place to go to. And so we're going to give that a whirl. How's Missouri doing? Good to see you. Yeah, man, the plug's well worth it. I mean, you work really hard on this. You're very passionate about it, and you do a good job. And those murders are something that it's just the overall picture of all the corruption and stuff with the police out there. And guys need to know that. I think that what you're talking about with that Death Island deal out in Thailand, that's not a place I would go. This is where people have gone in Thailand and they've ended up missing. And it's just, I guess it's a very popular tourist destination. I've never been there, but it's a dangerous place to go. And Ian's been one of the guys that will not give up on it. He's trying to expose it. I don't think he's welcome in Thailand anymore because of it. Open up the Philippines already. Open up everything already, man. And I was talking about earlier is that people are starting to get a little loopy. And I can't speak for where you're at. I don't know where you are or what's going on. I guess in the States, it's different per state. I don't know what's going on in Britain or Australia or all those places. I don't get much news here about those places. But in the Philippines, I think one of the things that's making people wacky, I know it makes me a little crazy, is they keep changing the rules from day to day. And one day it's open, and then a COVID case will break out, and then it's shut down. And then they just shut down the beaches in Darwin till the 15th of this month because of whatever reason. And you can snorkel, but you can't swim. So I don't know. I guess if I ran you can dive, but you can't snorkel. So where's the logic? And what else was going on? They shut down Valencia supposedly last month in order to come in to drive from Dumaguete to where I live in Valencia. They had to go by a checkpoint. And May and I went by those checkpoints 25 times, never got pulled over, never got stopped. Most of the guys were just sitting on the bench looking at their phones. So they weren't even enforcing it. And that's just, I don't know. Yeah, hit the like button, hydrate, and make sure you bend at the knees. What do I do to make my hair look so good? I appreciate that. I'm one of those guys that I guess, actually it's receding. Yeah, look, I'll show you. See? It's receding finally. Right, everything's backwards on this thing. See? But, whoops. I do absolutely nothing. I wash it and I don't even dry it or nothing. It just does its own thing. Maybe I'll do spiky hair one of these days. Or dye it blue. let's see, a big majority of people are now shying away from the shots. Lots of people not getting a second COVID shot, and supply is outweighing demand. I hope the U.S. government convince folks to get a shot. Isn't that something? I mean, everybody was in this mad dash, standing in line, getting frustrated, and the rollout and all this, that, and the other. And what's it been, a couple of months? What are we in, May? Yeah, but 4 months, I guess. Time is something that escapes me out here. But, and now it's like that whole thing is over with. And somebody said they're going to pay people to take the shots, but I don't know if that's true. That may be true, David. And if you hear it today, that may be what the governor is doing. And tomorrow he may change his mind. I don't know. Cebu, from what I understand, is a lot of guys from here went to Cebu. And they seem to be enjoying it. It's, from what I can ascertain, it's about half price. So it's a good deal right now. If it was me and I was you and I was coming to the Philippines, I would probably go hang out in Cebu first for a month just because of the price. If you're on a budget, you can get a nice place. I don't know if they make you sign a lease or not, though. But if you Airbnb it, I think it's half price, if not more. They're at 30% capacity, and they understand cash flow. Where out here in Dumaguete, they don't seem to understand cash flow. They just, I don't know if they don't make the proper adjustments. But I've been talking to guys recently that I was talking to a year ago and having normal conversations with them. And now I was talking with some guys recently and having totally kind of like weirded out abnormal conversations, or I'm just listening to them. And they've got all these theories and plans and plots and conspiracies. And I think people are just getting too bored. They're too stagnant. No one can really move much. And they're overthinking it and watching too much TV or watching too much YouTube or whatever it is they watch. Yes, that's correct, Fred. We all want to hit the like button, but we don't want to get injured in the process. Cabin fever is, as I really think it's just setting in. Here it is, 9:30 p.m. I'm usually fast asleep. And today I was going to actually shoot a video for a change. I haven't done a video in almost 2 weeks. And it's just been one big distraction, and I've kind of been out of the mood, if you will. If I don't have something to say, I don't want to make a video just for the sake of making a video. But I do have a video that I'm really pretty excited about doing. Is in 10 days is going to be my 4-year anniversary of having landed in the Philippines. And I have been here straight. I haven't gone home. I've had a few vacations out of the country for a couple of weeks, but for the most part, I've just been here for 4 years. And so much has changed from day one to present day. And I want to be able to, I think this is going to be the first video that I do that is, it's what I want to do for myself and then share with you guys. If you want to watch it, awesome. But I think it's going to be a long ass video. I think the longest video I've ever done has maybe been 40 minutes, I think. I don't know. I haven't really looked. God forbid I should fact check myself. But this one's going to go over an hour. And I want to do it where it's where it's succinct, you know, not like now where I'm stuttering. So I've actually been sitting there thinking about it a lot the last few days. And 3 times now I've set up to do a video, and then something happened. And it was like I was just getting ready to do it, and then someone would give me a call. I had a friend that had to go to the hospital, so I kind of dropped what I was doing and ran some stuff down to them. Another time I was going to do a video, and then we had a brownout. So it was only like a 10-minute brownout. The lights went off, the electricity went out, And then I just said, and after that, I wasn't in the mood. I was all grumpy. And then I did the deal about buying a car, and I've got that video to do. I was thinking about just talking about it on a live stream, but I think I'll do it on video. And then what else? May and I have found a house to move into that has a story behind the story, and we're going to be moving next month. So you're all caught up on that. All right. Yeah, well, there you go. See, I got to keep up with my comments. Yeah, we found a 3-bedroom place, 3-bedroom, 2-bath place. It's actually a little less money than here. There's no problem with this place here, but we just needed, not needed, but we wanted to get some more room. This is a great place, and we enjoy it. We've always liked it. I will do a video about it when I leave. I have nothing negative to say about it. If you want to rent a place, come on. But for May and I, we are very private people. And so we felt that a standalone house would be ideal. And whenever I looked at these standalone homes, there was just too much maintenance. There was too much, it was expensive, and there's some decent deals to be found right now. My neighbor, Mark, he just moved. He found a place that he really loves on the beach. It's worth every nickel. And I went and saw him a couple days ago. I'm going to miss living next door to Mark. He's a really good friend, and we used to collaborate a lot. And I just know in my heart of hearts that that's going to taper down simply because there's distance and scheduling and stuff like that. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm a little bummed out about that because he's a good guy. And we bounce off of each other pretty good. So he used to just poke his head around the corner and say, hey, you need to tell me something funny. And then I'd have an idea for a video. And I'd say, hey, well, how about you and me do this? I'll interview you or you interview me. We'll kind of change things up. And it was fun to have somebody to collaborate with. But, things change. Yeah, it's getting old. It really is. It's cabin fever, and it's getting old. Again, I don't want to get all controversial here, but I'll just leave it at that. It's getting old, and I'm just seeing it affect people's moods and attitudes. Guys that used to be real chipper and happy are just kind of looking fairly lethargic. It's hard for us to travel anywhere on the island, and one day you can, the next day you can't. So everybody's just kind of like, F it, I'm not even going to attempt it because it'll change. So there's just the degree of uncertainty, I think, is what's driving us nuts here in Little Dumaguete/Valencia. And probably Cebu right now for a lot of guys would be a better option. I know, like I said, I know 3 or 4 guys that have moved up there already. And out of sight, out of mind. I don't talk to them anymore. The minute they left, we stopped talking. But I've seen a few of their posts and Facebook stuff, and they seem happy. So, head on them. Like Spink 15 here. What does that mean? Yes, many people's states are disregarding the advice and opening things back up. The general rule is now it's up to the individual to take precautions they spend up for the states to dictate. Well, I'm a libertarian, so I would believe that's right along my line of thinking. If you want to take a risk, take a risk. And of course, you don't want to hurt else. Are you inside because of the chicken outside? My chicken is over there in the other room. He's curled up with May right now. See, Peter, I don't know anything about all this stuff. I just know that if I get a Moderna or an AstraZeneca that's made in the States, I'm cool with that. I think it would be, like I said, I've been vaccinated for all kinds of crap when I was a kid, and I didn't have any side effects. I would not take The Chinese version, I just don't trust it. Hello from Utah. The cat is out of the bag. Heard you were moving. Yeah, the cat is out of the bag. And I'll tell you a funny story. I screwed up. I did not know that Mark wanted to keep his the amount that he's paying for his apartment under his hat, and that's his own personal business. But I don't recall. Maybe he did, but I don't recall him saying, "Hey, keep this on the down low." And I'm guilty of the same thing because I didn't want anybody to know that I was moving, and I never told him, "Hey, keep this on the down low." So we both outed each other. And so what was really funny was that May and I had been out tooling around looking, and people knew that. But we hadn't signed anything, and we hadn't actually found anything. We were just kind of, saying, well, we looked at this, because people would ask, hey, did you go out today and look? And I'd say, yeah, we found this, but I'm not sure about it. And we did. We looked at about a dozen different places. And so I went over to my friend Jerry's apartment here. He did a little interview with me 3 days ago on his channel. And May and I had just decided between ourselves, okay, we're going to pull the trigger. We're going to go ahead and take this place. And the day before. And then May went down to pay the rent with our landlord and said, here's the rent. And by the way, Paul wants to know if he can talk to you privately. So I guess she ascertained that we were moving. And when I went over to Jerry's place, he said, hey, congratulations on your new place. And I hadn't told anybody. And May hadn't told anybody. I asked her, I said, did you tell her we're moving? She goes, no, I just told her that you wanted to talk to her. So I guess that information travels really fast here. Let's see. Greetings from camp. I can't pronounce that. North Carolina. Paul, vaccinated and waiting to return to Cebu. Any signs of hope for 2021? I don't know. I'm just uncomfortable saying any kind of times or dates. I'm real reticent to do the videos where I see a couple guys doing about when's it going to open, has the Philippines opened, what are the chances of it opening, because it's just news articles that are being read. And like I said, it's always in flux. So the best answer I can give you is the truth. And the truth is, kid, I don't know. I just don't. If I did, I would tell you. Let's see, Daniel, I like you. I like your YouTube channel. Well, thank you for the donation, Daniel. We appreciate that. And I like you too. Well, actually, I'll get on that later. Let's see. I get out with Dean. We get to a taxi cab, sit close to each other, and go to the theater. And I just sit in the opposite side of the room. Yeah, that's the norm. I went to the BI yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And again, the days just slip away, man. So I had to do my 6-month renewal and get a new ACR card. So that was a cool 10,000 pesos. But I was excited that I was able to just get it done. Yeah, well, you know what? There is a crack in the egg. And so things are starting to open up. And I'm happy about that. My friend is trying to get into Thailand, but he's finding, Gary, it to be easier said than done. They keep changing the finish line. So the only thing that I tell myself and I try to tell other people is it's easy for me because it's not, I want to go, but I don't need to go. It's just something I want to do. And something that has been very beneficial for me personally over here is I got to the habit of once a year, I would just leave. And I didn't go for a long time. I took off for 3 weeks. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm getting redundant, but I went to Indonesia. I bounced around. I went to Vietnam. I bounced around. I had my various challenges. And, issues and good times and crazy stuff, and saw new places, saw new things. And at the end of 2 or 3 weeks being gone, I was kind of like missing home. I consider this to be my home, my new home. And so absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I have not been able to be absent and go anywhere and get a change of view. That may be the underlying reason that May and I started looking for a different place. I think we just wanted a change of view. There's just redundancy. And I don't want to get into Groundhog Day over here, which I had in America. Different kind of Groundhog Day. Is it true you are moving? Yes. Like I said, good news travels fast. We are moving. Although we haven't signed anything because the lady was Filipina and she told me to write the contract. I don't even think I'll do that. I think we'll just move in, and we're going on a month to month. So, and one of the, let me go back to that because it's smaller. One of the things that I did was the woman was real insistent. I think she needs the money that we move in. She wanted us to move in now, this month. And I said, I can't do that. I have to give 30 days notice to my landlord. And it took a while to get that through with the language. But fortunately, some other friends came over. My friend Ed and his wife is bilingual. And so we were able to finally get that across. So what we did was we split the difference. I said, okay, I'll move in on the 15th. But I gave my landlord 30 days notice, which means we're good until the end of this month. So I will have the keys to the new place on the 15th. And it's going to cost me an extra, maybe let's just call it $200 for that to happen. And to me, it's actually worth it because I like being able to take my time, do some pre-move stuff. Like, the place is really clean. It's really well kept. It's got pride of ownership. It's got awesome internet. It's got all the things that I want. But there are things that May and I need to do. And moving is never fun. So this will give us the opportunity to go in and like we want to buy a new mattress. They have a bed there. But May and I would just feel better if we had our own mattress because you don't know what happened on the one you're inheriting. And so we're going to go buy a mattress and have that delivered. And that'll be in place, and sheets and pillows and stuff like that. And then there's some knucklehead things like we gave away all of our dishes and silverware when we left our last place because this came with dishes, plates, cups, you name it, sheets, pillows. And so now we have to reboot all that stuff. And so it'll give us an opportunity to just kind of at our leisure go down and get those little items and just kind of bump them in, set up water delivery, set up other deliveries that are handled by my landlord here at this place, but will not be handled by the landlord there. And that was the setup in my previous apartment. So I know who to call, but I want to go ahead and I want to get some 15 bottles of water for the dispenser already delivered and ready to rock and roll. We're going to pick up a refrigerator. It does not come with a refrigerator, so we're going to try to find just a used refrigerator. I don't like buying stuff that kind of locks me in, but if I can, right now it's easy to buy appliances like that because a lot of guys have left. So there's some decent stuff out there for a few $100s. And I think in 6 months' time, if I was to spend $600 getting a refrigerator and a mattress and sheets and all that kind of stuff, I would be at a break-even point. Because the way I've figured the math is this new place is going to probably be about $100 a month, if not more, cheaper than what we're paying now. And then if I need to pull the trigger and bail out of Dodge or move or go or change my mind, I can just give that stuff away, most likely to May's family. So I know it's a long-winded explanation. Let's see. I think people forget there are always many places around the world that you need to get a vaccine before going over there. Well, I think it's just going to be one of those deals, Paul, where you have to have it. Maybe not, but I think there's going to be certain places that do require it and certain places that don't. I can't tell you which ones will be which, but just go ahead and get it is my theory. I'm not afraid of it, in other words. Good morning. Upland Day, there's my buddy. Yeah, it's your AM. It's my evening. I always kind of like doing different times just to see what happens and maybe talk to some people that I don't normally get to talk to. And kind of give everybody updates on my boring life and see what you guys are up to and what you think. Let's see. Paul, I try to help you and other expats there. Take it for what you pay for. Nothing. I'm not sure I understand that. I try to help you and other expats there. Take it for what you pay for. Nothing. I don't know. I don't understand that. Is it me? Good evening, Paul. Hope you're well down here in Melbourne and can travel, but they won't let you back in. Yeah, that's the same thing here. Like, I can go to America, and I've been wanting to go there, as anybody that's been following me knows, forever, since last March, go see my dad and friends and family. And I've got some just stuff to do with banking and renewal stuff, driver's license stuff, all that jazz. See kids, see friends, see family. 4 years is a long time to be gone. And, but I can't come back here if I go. Trying to inner house bed shield. It's a plastic shield with 3 holes in it you have to wear. I'm trying to inner house the bed shield. I don't know what that means. It's a plastic shield with 3 holes in it. You have to wear a mask too. Let's say you bring up the change room, friends are going to close one day, open the next. It's becoming boycott rule syndrome. People are begging not to listen. Can't blame them. Yeah, it's the boy who cried wolf is right. One day it's an emergency, and the next day everything's fine. And the next day it's an emergency, and then everything's fine. And guys are getting buggy, including me. Yeah, I know. It's my one redeeming quality is the hair. The rest, big problem. This great comedian, what's his name? Anyway, never mind. I can't feel big time because of my age. I've been self-imposed since 2020. It annoys me to hear younger folks belly aching because of 1 month restrictions. Yeah, we're at that age where it's like we need to get moving because we don't exactly have, most of our years are behind us. And change it. That's why I always carry a target as moving targets. Yeah, it's if it'd be cool if they would say, okay, we're going to open when we feel comfortable. So just settle down. All right. Let's say barking dogs, roosters, pomeranians. I don't speak that much English, and I don't speak Spanish. Almost like Philippines here. Oh, you're in Mexico, yeah. Yeah, I've heard that from other guys that they have issues over there with the language. And I always thought that, I went to Mexico when I was a kid, though. I was in Tijuana, did those usual things. I honeymooned in Mazatlan, but I was in tourist areas, so everybody was speaking English. And we didn't do much. It wasn't. I've only been on the fringe things in Mexico, like I said, when I was really young. And some guys are over there now. But I think Mexico's a decent option. It looks to me until the vaccine is present in the Philippines with the numbers get right, I would agree with that too. And one bad thing is that people are refusing the vaccine in America, which is their privilege and right to do. But I think that if everybody was on board, it would give the optics that everybody's safe now. And but I'm thinking maybe if they've got a whole bunch left over, they can send it here, because to try to get it, they keep running out. Let's see. I see a lot of countries open to those who have vaccines. I'm just holding out to make sure there is no certain time frame or certain brand. Moderna giving $500 million to COVAX. What's COVAX? Yeah, so things are starting to crack open in the States, but they're not cracking open here. Well, at least not today. Well, tomorrow that might be a totally different story. So Alberta's shutting down. See? That's what I'm talking about. Well, that's my point, is I think that the initial guys coming in here, Ron, if they can find if the minute it opens up and you can come, I think that it's gonna, if you make a reservation and do all that jazz, you can lock down some really decent prices. Or if you're like these guys that I know, if you're here in Dumageddon and you're sick of Dumageddon, or you just want to live in a high rise for a while, it looks like that would be the option to go to. It's all supply and demand, but you're right. The minute people start coming back over here, the rental prices, of course, will go back up. Paul, what country would you recommend if you're concerned about brownouts? I normally run a computer 24/7. Vietnam. No brownouts there. Now here, do you have the option of getting a generator? Your own generator. I'm not pretending how much they cost. What else? I would be more concerned about an internet connection, but I guess that's easily solved, because you can have one of those portable Wi-Fi things, hotspot deals. So I know some guys work online and they pay $50 a month or something like that, and it's just, it's a portable hotspot that works. But as far as brownouts go, what country would I recommend? The one that I went to, I didn't have any issue with internet, was Vietnam. I don't know about Thailand. I don't think I had any brownouts in Thailand either. In my conservative small town, people largely ignored the protocols. I've been waiting for 18 months to see a lady for an MPI, so all back and forth and indecision there is particularly annoying. Yeah, there's a lot of LDRs going on right now. And people are getting frustrated. They can't see their girlfriend, their wife, their kids. There's some people that, have families over here and they're having a hard time getting here. Congrats on 4 years. Thank you. Just arrived in quarantine in Manila. Wow. See, there you go. You should go to Cebu. It's half price. I guess if you guys, 13 here, I don't know where you arrived from. Maybe if you could elaborate on that, that would help these guys. If somebody wants to put up with being quarantined, that would be cool. They can at least get over here. And once you're past the quarantine, start bugging around. There are guys that have made it over here, and they've been quarantined. It's just expensive, is one thing. And then the quarantine facilities have not really been all that delightful. There are some quarantine facilities here at beach resorts that are nice. But again, the price tag is pretty strong. So it just depends on your budget, man. Airbnb, IT Park, 2 Novembers ago, and loved it. There you go. Plan to go back once the country opens up. I've been double vaccinated since February and waiting. Well, Sam, you know what? That's the way to do it, buddy. I've never done Airbnb. I've always gone, whenever I've left, I've stayed with a friend out of the country. And so I've never had to rent a hotel room or anything. I've always stayed with friends. But I think May and I will do a lot of Airbnb when we can go through inner island stuff. Montana tribes are offering their surplus vaccines to Albertans willing to cross the border to get it. They were lined up at the border. It was a trip how much the mad dash was to get the vaccine. And then now it's just completely pooped out. People are funny. Think about a solar panel for temperature power. Yeah, there's guys out here that use solar. Electricity out here is rather expensive. So I pay about $100 a month, round numbers. And I keep my air conditioner on. I'm just that way. And today, May and I never left the apartment. I told her, I said, we're just taking the day off. And yesterday we ran around and my face has been getting really, I use sunscreen and all that happy crap, but my face has really been just getting fried. And it's been really hot and really bright. And so I just took a day off today and stayed home. That's why I'm up late, because I was sleeping all day. Absolutely. Come on by, Rory. You betcha. We won't even know you're there. You won't even know we're there. It'll be an awesome setup. Paul, are they still having frequent brownouts and power issues there? Yes, in a word. In fact, this Sunday, May and I are planning something this Sunday because there's a scheduled brownout, unless they change their mind, of course, from 6 in the morning till 6 at night, 12-hour brownout. This is one of our infamous Sunday scheduled brownouts. And so I actually don't mind those because you know they're coming. You're forewarned is forearmed. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But you can stay home and sweat it out. We have a pool here. We can go soak in the pool if we wanted to. But May and I tend to use that as an opportunity to frivolously spend our money and go somewhere and do something. And she found some kind of half-price deal today. And I'm going to call tomorrow and see if we can get that wrapped up. Last brownout, we went with a bunch of people to a water park, and that was fun. But we want to do something different this time. Well, Rory, I don't think so. Yeah, it's too great a tan. Thank you, but it's getting to be too much. I tan really easily, and somebody told me I have American Indian in my blood somewhere, so maybe that's got something to do with it. I've always wanted to do one of those genealogy deals where you send off a piece of your hair or something, and they do a DNA test and they tell you how much, where you came from and all that jazz. I'll do that one day. Baby may wait to lay out the ribs in a new place like she likes it and have fun time swinging so on. Naked fun, my friend. Well, you're big on the naked. Everybody's on the naked kick today. So sure. But that is a big part of what we're doing is it's a standalone house and it has a nice, well-kept yard, and it actually has an area for gardening. And so that's May's thing, is gardening. She has this whole routine every morning where she goes out and talks to her plants and pets them. And so she will be spending hours in that garden, and which is good news for me. Which means I can go spend hours going doing something else. And so, but I actually I like to garden too. And when when my kids were little, we used to try to grow pumpkins. We used to try to grow watermelons. We used to try to grow tomatoes in Vegas. And it was just an epic fail. These big worms would come out of nowhere and start eating the plants, and aphids would run crazy. So I like to garden, and we want to grow our own vegetables, more as a hobby as anything else. And we have some fruit trees on the property, so that'll be nice. And May gets more excited about the simple things, like growing vegetables and picking the fruits. And she's a Providence girl, and she's not into all the high society stuff and the fancy schmancy, even though we do that every now and then. And she has a good time doing it. We're both pretty simple and simple-minded on top of that. At least I am. And so we're looking forward to the change. But I did tell May this. I said, listen, if we find out, because you never know until you've been there for a month, what the place really is all about. And things change. So I will never sign a long-term lease on a place out here because it may be cool and groovy, in the month of August. And then in September, the guy next door buys a new karaoke machine and starts hitting the Red Horse every other Wednesday. And it just becomes, you got to move. So I told her, I said, we're going to rent this place. We're going to live there. We're going to enjoy our lives. We're not going to spend a ton of money on it. We're going to put some things in it that it needs. It will give us, it's got 3 bedrooms. So there will be one dedicated room to where we can just put all of our computers and all the YouTube stuff that we've accumulated and have that in one place as opposed to in the drawer with May's clothes. So it'll simplify our lives there as far as decluttering a little bit. We don't own a lot of big stuff. We don't own a lot of valuable stuff, but we have a lot of stuff. And personally, I could walk away from it tomorrow, but it would take May 3 days to unpack her clothes. So we've got 2 weeks. We're going to be in good shape. Things are opening up in Virginia. Good. Vaccination nation. Yeah. Yeah, right. Good. You're killing me, man. What I did for that. If you're coming to the Philippines for a long time and have severe health issues, get taken care of. Oh, brother, I am with you 1,000% on that. I have had 2 close friends be hospitalized recently, and it has been ugly and expensive and inefficient and poorly executed. Do I need to say more? I'm speaking about Dumageddon. Again, I'm not disrespecting all of the Philippines, but medical care here is kind of like, you remember that show MASH where they just kind of like, had a tent? And one example, Australian guy that I was chatting with, and a new friend, he had an issue with, I think it was diabetes, and his leg had swollen up to twice its normal size. And he went to the hospital here, and they said, well, we have to remove your leg. It's unsalvageable. And he said, well, I think I'll get a second opinion on that. And this is all before the COVID deal. And he went back to Australia, and they fixed him right up. Still got his leg. So this is a very true statement. If you have medical conditions, and if you have a serious medical condition, you might rethink the Philippines if you're going to be needing a lot of medical care, and or you're prone to that. That's just food for thought. That's not advice. That would be something that I would give serious consideration to. Thailand's got some state-of-the-art medical care. Just throwing it out there, kids. Enjoy your prion disease in 2 years' time after your shot. And that comes from a guy called Goat Squeezer. Are you sure you're just squeezing those goats? I think there's some unlucky goats near you, or some unhappy goats. Let's see, Cleveland, Ohio wants to be in the Philippines. You can dig it, brother. China just has some crazy. Yeah, I heard about that. Freaking China, huh? Things are loosening up in Delaware. Yeah, I like this. This is like some positive affirmation we're getting here. What was that show that was on Saturday Night Live? What was that guy call him? What was it? Who used to do that guy? Al Franken. Remember Al Franken before he got all weird and went to politics? He used to be really funny. He had a guy named Travis Smalley or something like that. We'd stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm good enough. Okay, I just did that one. Let's see what's next. China's, oh, okay, I just did that. Sorry. Here in Delaware, things are loosening up. See, I got lost here a second ago. Here we go. Okay, good morning. Good morning, Dennis. Thanks, Roy. Appreciate a super sticker. Oregon. Isn't Oregon like Portland? Isn't that still like being Looterville? I got this whole video in my head about moving to the Philippines. I was going to do it the other day and I got distracted. And I'm also putting together a video about my 4 years here. I'm repeating myself, I know, but people are just now joining. And it's going to be over an hour. I might actually, for the first time, write some notes down so I don't forget the sequence of events. Hey, Paul, you old dog, here in the Dominican Republic is completely open. No tests, only masks in stores. Well, there you go. Becoming humble. I like that. That's a nice name. Dominican Republic. Now, I had a friend go to the Dominican Republic years ago, and he said it was very scary. He said there was a lot of military things going on over there. I don't know if it's still like that, but appreciate the comment because it's another option for guys. And me, I guess. Read the news. Duterte is getting a lot of heat of getting himself vaxxed with Chinese vax, which is not approved in the Philippines. I read something about that too. Something he regrets having done it. I never really know what that guy's thinking. Do I think the Philippines will be a better PLAV? I don't know what PLAV is, Jack. Let's see. Allegedly, Europe is opening up this summer for fully vaccinated travelers. Okay. What do you guys think? I think let's go ahead and roll the dice and try to make a prediction. I'll just say that I think that things are going to open up by the end of the year. I just don't know what year. Let's see. Wasn't afraid of getting COVID. Yeah, the military training got more shots than a lab rat. Exactly. Yellow fever. Exactly. I agree with you, David. You know, I have an issue with saying you can't do this unless you do that. But I kind of have to backtrack and correct myself because I wasn't allowed to go to school. My kids weren't allowed to go to school unless we got vaccinated. And as far as I know, that whole routine wiped out smallpox, I think. And hopefully this will probably become a yearly thing. I think Mark was saying that he thinks it's going to be included in the flu shot, because it's all COVID and SARS or something like that are all related. I forget the medical terms, but just a booster every year. And I think only 40% of the people in America actually get a flu shot. So if 70% get this shot, I think you should be okay, don't you? Do you think the Philippines will be a better place post-COVID? Yeah, I do. Philippines was awesome when I first got here. It's still awesome. I mean, nothing's changed except that we're hamstrung, just like you guys. So a lot of places went out of business. That's kind of depressing. Places I like to go are no longer open. So that's a little on the negative side, right? Friends that I made are gone. Some friends have died. A lot of people have bailed out. A lot of people are getting a little edgy and goofy and short-tempered. I've seen an uptick, if you will, of expats behaving badly. They're just, you got old guys like me. We tend to have short fuses just because we're grumpy and we don't feel good. And, if something hurts somewhere and then you come up against this stuff. Like I get frustrated because I wear glasses. And so when I put on a mask and it kind of fogs up my glasses a little bit, and then I've got to put a shield over that, and it's made out of this cheap shit plastic with smudges on it, and it's just kept in the bike, and it's just for show. we got the mask on. I got my glasses on. I got the mask on, and then I got to put this shield on just to walk into certain stores. Some want them, some don't. But well, for this example, I'll say Robinson's because that's the last place we did it. And me and everybody, not everybody, but I would say about 80% of the people, locals included, just take that shield off the minute we pass the door and put it like on top of our head like a pair of sunglasses. And it never fails that when I go to take off my glasses, the mask thing that I've got behind my ears gets tangled into my glasses. And then I've got a fist fight with that, trying to get the mask off my, it's a whole thing. Then I got to put a helmet on over that when I ride the bike. But no, that's just me complaining. Grumpy old man. Thanks, Upland Dave. We like our thumbs up for some reason. I guess it helps the algorithm. Of course, I haven't done any videos this month, so my algorithms have gone to hell anyway. I'm going further up the mountain. I'm going deep, baby. We're going up, 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 far, far away. No swimming pools. As far as I can tell, no neighbors. No, hopefully the only noise that I will hear is the chickens and the roosters. And I like those noises. I like the nature noises. I don't mind hearing a cow moo. But I'll tell you, the loudest creature in the Philippines is other expats. That I have discovered. Hello, Florida. Boy, I'll tell you, I think that mattresses just in general collect a lot of stuff. They don't have to be in the Philippines, but it's humid out here. And there are a lot of different kinds of little microscopic bugs and ants and stuff like that. So that's the prior. That's number one for me is a new mattress and pillows. And I'm going to go in and fumigate the place, even though I didn't see one bug. I've been there 3 times. I didn't see one critter walking around. I didn't see one ant. I didn't see any lizards. I didn't see any nasty bugs inside or out. Because the woman that owns the place is very proactive. She's there a lot. And she's always cleaning, like the yard and all that. She has pride of ownership, which is huge. Same as the people here. They have pride of ownership. Same deal. So that I really liked. And but I am going to go in with a couple of cans of stuff, like 2 or 3 days before, and just fumigate the shit out of the place, whether it needs it or not, inside and out. And we're going to take the move slow. And then a couple of days before this is up, we will have, I got a couple of big things to move. One's a freezer and one's a couch. And then the rest we'll have in boxes. We'll have 6 boxes of my stuff and we'll have 53 boxes of May's clothes and shoes. That'll be the big load. Good morning, Randy. How are you, buddy? Kind of like going on at night. See, I get different people. Pneumatic shotguns. I remember pneumatic BB guns. Florida NFL has raised money to feed people in need here in the Philippines. There you go. There's a self-promotion commercial from somebody I don't know. Is Super Chat available? Yeah, I guess so. I think there's something you can push this into Super Chat. Or you want me to send you one? If you get married, you can come back after. Not necessarily. That changes, CB. You may have a better odds of getting in, but even that is in flux. It changes. From what I understand, they canceled the SRRV visa. So that was where guys were putting a bunch of money in the bank. How do you like that? I'm not going to. No. I don't. It's not that I'm against it. I don't understand it. So, I know the stories. If you bought Bitcoin back in the day, you'd be a multimillionaire. Same thing with if you bought this or that. But I've ventured into the stock market twice back in the 90s during the dot-com boom and lost each time. So I figured, okay, it's not my thing. I think long-term investing is the only way to go into the stock market. I don't have that much time left. So we'll see. Maybe I'll try it. I treat it like Vegas. I really think the stock market is just a gamble. And if you listen to 5 different guys, they got 5 different opinions, and I think it's rigged. So when you see, so-and-so go on TV and start touting such and such a stock, I think that's kind of a setup. What's up there in Arizona, Eddie? Everything's cool here. That might be true. I don't know about the world. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that some places are going to require it, at least in the immediate future, and it may fade out after a few years. Public has a short memory. I mean, this is a stinger right here, right? But time will pass. Time tends to take care of these issues. Maybe a year from now, it'll be in our rearview mirror, and people will be moving forward, and we'll have a whole new set of problems to worry about. And COVID will make COVID look like nothing. How's it hanging? Just as sad and ugly as it always has, buddy. Do I know the way to San Jose? Oh, I retracted that, but it still showed up. It was supposed to say, introduce the bed shield. Oh yeah, I get it. Like a back shield on a motorbike. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I have no idea. The super chat accepts cryptocurrency. That's a fact, buddy. We've got more years behind us than in front of us. A lot of people, we can always take a positive out of this. And I think a lot of guys and women have decided to go ahead and retire for various reasons. And that's actually was one of the videos that I was going to do this week that I never got around to. I got a feeling one day I'm going to sit down and just do 4 videos right in a row. You have time to go home because of any transactions. Let's see. Paul, you have planned to go home because of any transactions. See family and friends. Don't travel now. Better stay where you are now than to stock place, then quarantine for a long time. I think I understand what you're saying. And I would agree with you that I have to stay here because I can't come back. So, and it's not like I got a house or a place to stay in America. I have family and friends, but that's like, 2 or 3 days. And then I don't want to be bugging them past that. So I would need to get a place. I mean, I'd be paying 2 rents. I think we keep getting this question, huh? So, no disrespect, but I'm going to put you in timeout because it just keeps coming back. Let's see, in the States, we are pushing close to 50% vaccinated. Okay, that does not include anyone under 18 years old. And then the numbers might go up drastically. Yeah, I think I was saying that the president wants you guys, or wants America to be at 70% by the 4th of July. And from what I understand, which is not necessarily true, it's just what I've heard, 40% of Americans take the flu shot every year. And this is a flu, isn't it? Something similar? Yeah, how much the price for renting there and how many apartments there are. It's a place where everybody knows everything about you. Okay, that's a fair question. You may. The rent here is 20,000 pesos per month, plus electric, plus water. So on average, I pay 25,000 pesos, including everything. How many apartments are there? There are 10 apartments. Is it a place where everybody knows everything about you? Absolutely. Absolutely. I know. They'll be back. But what I did was I took the day off today. I told May, I said, I'm not leaving this place today. I'm not going outside. It's too hot. I'm getting too much sun on my face. I ran around yesterday doing things that I didn't plan on doing. And so here I am. I slept all day. How was your day, Jerry? I was going to call you, and I think I just forgot. That's my neighbor. Oh, no, this is my neighbor, Jerry. I was on his channel. We did a little interview, and we had fun with it. And he did some, what do you call it, outtakes at the end that were cute and funny. And I enjoyed spending time with Jerry. In fact, I know what I was going to call you about. I wanted you to help me on a video that I want to do, but I don't know if, so I'll go ahead and ask here on the internet. And let me know if you're up for that. Let's see. Pubs open in the UK, cautiously opening up. Should be normally by middle of next month. Vaccine going over well. Half the country had first shot. Okay. So, see, I don't know. I was hearing about the UK version of the thing, and then the Italy and Spain. I was just floored that Europe and America got hit so hard, and now poor India is getting hammered. And in my mind, India, I would have thought, would have been the first one to have the biggest explosion like they're experiencing now, just because of the living conditions and the open sewers and the crowding and the basic unsanitary, conditions that exist over there. So shows you I don't know anything. Let's see. Same thing can, a lot of flip-flopping by the feds for people getting tired. I, honest to gosh, think that it's the changing of the mind is what's driving most people over the edge. It is for me, at least. It's like, make a rule and stick to it. And if you're going to make the rule, do the rule. Like they set up they made a big to-do. I already mentioned this earlier about coming from Dumaguete to Valencia. You're going to go through a checkpoint and you're going to have to show IDs and this and that and the other. And it actually just kept a lot of people to not even try to come up here because they don't live here and they thought, I don't want to get in trouble at a checkpoint. And no BS, kids. Me and May went by these checkpoints all month. We must have gone past them 40, 50 times. Not once did they even, I'm lying to you. One time they pulled us in and they said, where are you going? And I said, Valencia. And he said, oh, okay. It's supposed to be that he's supposed to prove that I live here in Valencia. Just asked me where I was going. He could have asked anybody that. Hey, Canada, how you doing, Bruce? 13. Came from U.S., married to a Filipino. I got in on a spouse visa. Okay. Good on you. And you're in quarantine right now, I think, right? In Manila? Whew. You don't have as many Browns in the bigger cities. Yeah. So, yeah, that's true. This island is well known for, Negros Oriental is well known for its brownouts. But at other parts of the Philippines, it's not so prevalent. That's a good statement. Paul, what's your take on what happened to Enrique when he tried to fly back home and tend to his mom was in a hospital? That was unreal. I didn't watch the video, but my friend did. And he gave me the rundown of what happened to him. So I was going to watch the video, but my buddy gave me, it was like over an hour, And so anyway, a friend of mine in the States saw it. And we were laughing about what a cluster it was for him. And it makes total sense of what happened. Total sense that you go to the front of the building, but they say, no, it's around the back, and missing your flight and all the other nonsense that happened to him. It's just typical of over here. That is an unreal story. I will watch that video, but I already got the synopsis. I already got the bottom line on it. So what's my take on it? My take on it is he didn't do anything wrong, but he got gamed, and they kept changing the rules on him, right? One day you needed this, one day you needed that. You have to do this, you have to go there. No, this isn't right. One day this is supposed to be what you need. You go in, you get what you need, you show up, and it's expired, or it's just disorganization. Well, there you go. We all have our dreams. I hope you do great at that. Baguio's nice and cool, and cryptocurrency is something I know nothing about. COVAX is cooperating with the aim of helping poor countries with medical needs in COVID. USA donating $2 billion and many millions of doses to it. Okay. Yeah, I got the feeling that with people refusing the vaccine in the States, that they'll probably start exporting it. And I hope the Philippines gets a bunch and gets it distributed. Those kind of things don't seem to go over real well over here. Samuel Mendoza, come to Korea. There you go. Yeah, Korea. Not expensive. The electricity is perfect. There you go. There's an option for you. Car sales industry in the UK totally changed. Customers buying cars negotiating via Zoom and happily doing so. Showroom host offering tea and coffee and handing over the keys behind the screen. That's different. But that was coming. I was in the car business, and the internet came along and was supposed to make it simpler. Actually made it more complicated in many cases. And then we were talking about it. Said, one day there's going to be a virtual showroom. And the only thing that we couldn't figure out, and I still can't figure out, is how does somebody take a test drive before buying the car? So there's got to be some kind of building where you can go and see the car in person, right? But I think a lot of car sales, will be virtual showrooms, and you'll actually get better information. It will be all, any question that you have about the car that a car salesman may not know because it gets so technical anymore, will be answered for you if you're that kind of person. Let's see. I'd like to marry a Filipina, but they scare me. Don't they yell and have tantrums a lot? Actually, they have the opposite. It's called Tampo. No statement goes unpunished. Is there really? I'll bet you there is. I'll bet you there is. I like to garden. I met the Filipina P back when she was first promoting her channel, and I haven't heard from her since. So no, we're not friends. We're not enemies, but we don't. And I never see her around. I never hear from her. Of course, I've never written to her either. But she contacted me and a couple other guys when she was first starting her channel. And I told her at the time, I said, you're going to have 100,000 subscribers before long, because I really thought her dedication and her content and the hard work that she puts into it will pay off. And guys like her, and she knows how to appeal to her audience. So, if you put your mind to something and you can back it up with, and she's very smart, she's bilingual, or she speaks a lot of languages. She's just got a lot going in her favor. But to answer your question, we're not friends. I imagine if I called her up and said, hey, you want to grab a cup of coffee? She might say yes. I don't know. When you begin to need medical care that will drain all your cash, be substandard, are you moving back to the States? Well, you're right. The medical care would be substandard, and it probably would drain all my cash unless I had insurance, which is available. So that's kind of a 50-50 statement there. But my plan has always been to go back to the States if I get into a medical condition that would need a lot of attention. So I wouldn't trust it here. And it would be not free, but I have Medicare Part A, Part B I pay for. So the majority of it would be picked up. And there's probably some other stuff that I need to, some writers, if you will, to put up with that. So, yeah, but if I had to have surgery or if I had, developed some sort of disease or Alzheimer's or something like that, I would probably go back to the States, get it looked at. Let's see. Assuming you don't get a chance to get the COVID-19 vaccine there, so will you get it when you visit the States? Yeah, that would be an option. Absolutely. I'm pretty sure I can fly to the States without having the vaccine, as long as I test negative for COVID. I think that's the drill. But yeah, I would take it. 23 and me. Let's see. COVAX is a nonprofit. For them on their own. Okay. Hello, Florida. There's a McGill School of Computer Science. I did not know that. I know there's a McGill University in Canada. I think. Isn't it Canada? Yeah. I did not know that. I will. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. It's always exciting. Rod from Ireland. Hot pickle. How are you, buddy? My father went back to Ireland and had a great time years ago. Stuart Smalley, that's what it was. And he was who was he? He was with the basketball player. Who was it? And he was talking about bouncing the ball. And it was just so damn funny. I forget the player. Was it Magic Johnson? Something like that. And they were both, whoever it was trying not to crack up. But that was some funny stuff. Yeah, you're right. Texas has always just been saying F all this. Let's just keep on rocking. You gotta love Texas. I lost my place. Where the hell was I? There we go. Okay, YouTuber Dustin Backpack had surgery for herniated disc in his neck and did fine in the Philippines. I think it cost him a little of 9,000 USD in all too. Better have some cash. I would agree with that. You need some cash. I had the same surgery. I had 2 herniated discs in my neck. It was 30,000 in the States. I paid $227 for it though because of my insurance. They stuck me in a ward for 30 days with no screen on the windows, gave me over-the-counter pain relievers when I found out that Medicare doesn't pay outside the U.S. Then charged me $14,000 to get out. Yeah, that's what I've been saying is the Medicare, if you got Medicare or Medicaid or whatever it is, ain't going to work over here. I think Guam is the closest place. And then Hawaii, and then, of course, the continent of the United States. So traveler's insurance is a good idea. PhilHealth is an option. I know a guy that had cancer of the nose, and he was saying that his PhilHealth covered a lot of the bill. So there you have it. Yeah. Well, I see, that's just it. Millions of people now have gotten the vaccine with no ill effects. It's just like I said, I've been vaccinated, and somebody earlier commented that they were in the military, and they've been vaccinated against God knows everything, mustard gas, and no ill effects. So just get the damn thing. Let's see. Hey, Paul, Australian expat living in Kazakhstan. 11 years and counting. Had my 2 shots of Russian Sputnik. Yeah. Nice to see you, comrade. The update on my car. Yeah, I could just do it real quick right here, right now. But I just asked May this morning. I said, hey, do you have, because here's the bottom line, so I bought a car and I sold a car. And I had, because it didn't work out. So I had the beginning where I bought a car. I had the middle where I owned the car for a few days. And then I just sold the car. So I've got the end of the story. And I want to do that story. But that's the bottom line, is I bought a car. I dropped the ball in the middle. And the car wasn't what I thought it was. So I ended up selling the car and I lost a few $100. That's really it. But I wanted to do a video with Mark Thornton about this whole debacle, because he was going to break my balls about buying a car that I lost money on, because I was 40 years in the car business. And we were looking forward to doing that, where he just like slaps me, throughout the video about the mistakes I made. And his first statement was to me when I told him what happened, he goes, "You're just not the man you were 10 years ago." And I said, remember that. And then we were going to get together and do this video where he just sort of like interrogates me about buying this goofy car. And, but we never did it. And now he's, I don't know if we'll ever be able to sync that up. Hey, Bob from Boston. How are you, brother? Love back at you, China Dave. Even though you call yourself Upland Dave, I know you as China Dave. I always thought you lived in China. I don't believe in vaccinations, but I'm getting a shot tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, I feel your pain. I don't think that people should be forced to do something they don't want to do. But I don't think there's anything going to happen to any of us if we take a vaccination. Yeah. That's the self-correction. I'm kind of getting over the I'm trying to not hide behind the comment. I was kind of on my high horse. I admit it, that I was getting all high and mighty about, I don't want the government to interfere on my life and make me get a vaccination to get on a plane. It's all part of a big conspiracy. I was jumping on that bandwagon for a while. And then it occurred to me that I couldn't go to school and my kids couldn't go to school without their shots. And nobody made a big deal out of it. And so I'm equating this now with that sometimes you do have to do things for the greater good, and you should not put other people in danger. And it's the same thing if you had AIDS. You shouldn't go sleeping around with people, right? You shouldn't put them at risk. And they wouldn't know that you had AIDS or some other communicable disease, venereal disease, if you will. You can go to jail for that. So this isn't on that same level, but you know what I'm saying. It's you shouldn't do anything that could harm others. And sometimes we do have to take a bullet for the greater good. Hold on, my soapbox is falling down. Europe is trying desperately to open up for the summer, provided they have the vaccine passport. So I'm waiting for a second shot so I can travel. Yeah, I think that's what it's coming down to. I like your live streams. Keep them coming. Well, thanks for watching. I don't know if we get anything done here. I like talking to you guys. Like I said, I have not made a video this month. I haven't made a video in 2 weeks. Just because I haven't really had the inspiration. couple of times I did have the inspiration and I had something that I thought I should say, and I got interrupted, and then I wasn't in the mood anymore. And I don't want to just repeat myself. I see a lot of redundancy in videos. So we're going to take a walk and talk, or we're going to, and I do it myself. It's like, how many times can you talk about the age gap? How many times can you talk about relationships? How many times can you talk about where you live or your budget? So for me, I've got to be interested. Now, I've got a ton of videos that I've done that I've kept private because it's about private matters. So if I don't accidentally send those out public. Try again. Love you, brother. Just wanted to see if you would make it down the list as far today. Yeah, I know. I usually skip a bunch of people. I cannot. I would love to, Robert, I'll tell you what, nothing would flip my trigger more than to be able to speak a bunch of languages. That's one of my little Walter Mitty fantasies, that I could roll in like Jason Bourne and just, start ordering food in German, or if I'm in Germany. I have absolutely zero aptitude or ability when it comes to language. And Bud Brown, his brain is wired differently, and he loves it, and he studies it, and he practices it. He's good at it. It's the same thing with music. My great-grandmother could sit down at a piano and listen to a song and then just play it on a piano. It was my grandmother, not my great-grandmother. And her name was Rose. And she'd hear a song and sit down at some old upright piano they had at the house, and she could just do it. I don't have any of that kind of talent. That her DNA did not filter down to me. So I've tried to play the drums, the saxophone, the guitar, the harmonica, because I love music. No aptitude for it. Same thing with language. Would love to be able to just speak the language here or anywhere. And again, failed it in school. When I was a kid, I took Spanish and I took French, failed both classes. And I tried. It's not like I just shined it on. I tried. I just couldn't do it. Let's see. The real science is that this is not a vaccine. It's a medical device. Does not meet legal definition of the vaccine. The truth is being suppressed about the real damage it's doing. We have now heard from Steve. Good morning. Just love the Philippines. Absolutely. Upland Dave, breakfast in your new place with flowers on the table for you and me. You are the sweetest guy. Thank you so much, China Dave, a.k.a. Upland Dave. You're a rock star. I appreciate that very much, buddy. We have a lot of expenses this month, so that helps. Let's see. Oh, are you talking about the guns? Don't they use? I've never had that. I think I saw it on TV once. Do they still do that? That's the second time you've said that same thing. Good morning from the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Paul and May. Well, May's asleep, but I will tell her you said hi, Craig. Thank you very much. Buy low, sell high. Paul, are you going to get good in? Yes. Yeah. That was one of the criteria. I had a number of criteria before I would agree to anything. And one of them was I did not want to have a big, long-ass dirt road to contend with when coming home. So I don't have that. I'm very, very happy about that. Yeah. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. And it's got PLDT fiber already in there. And so included in the rent is $18,000. And then the internet is another $1,400. So it's actually 600 pesos cheaper than here with dedicated better internet and 2 more bedrooms and 1 more bathroom. So, and a garden. And it's private house, not an apartment. And so privacy is a big thing with me and May. And I'll just leave it at that. Hey, mate, you ever get worried about some of these guys that criminal behavior with the crazy comments? And that's the one guy who was threatening and wanting to incite others. I can tell you a story about that. Hey, mate, you ever get worried that some of these guys that border on criminal behavior with these crazy comments and vitriol? I listened to one guy who was threatening and wanting to incite others. Well, yeah, you're going to get your Looney Tunes, but you know it's on. They're keyboard warriors. I will tell you a quick story. Of course, none of my stories are quick, are they? Last year, when Ian was out here, my friend Ian was on earlier. Ian came over from Australia and with his girlfriend. Well, he met his girlfriend here, and then another couple. So there was a total of 6, 3 boys, 3 girls. And we were going to Sikihor, and we were hanging out together. And at my old apartment, there was a bungalow across from my apartment. And my landlord came to me, and this is all in the same time frame when all these people had come from different places. They all came to Dumageddon. We all got together to meet and have fun and party and travel and all this and that and the other. So May and I were really busy with our company, which was awesome. At that exact same time, my landlord came to me at my old apartment and said, hey, we rented out the bungalow across from your apartment. And I said, well, that's great. And they used to rent this bungalow out for 4 and 5 days at a time. It was real small. It was kind of like not a long-term kind of place. It was just sort of an afterthought, if you will, at this place I used to live at. And so they said, yeah, the guy is a big fan of your YouTube channel. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird because I've only got like 4,000 subscribers. That was way back in the day, right? And not that my channel's big now, but it was just a small little channel. I said, well, that's cool. I'd like to meet the guy. And he said, yeah, he really wants to meet you. So I think later on that day, May and I pulled up, and I was just running into the house because we had left and I had forgotten something. And I had to go, like my phone or whatever, and I had to go in and get it and come back out. And the guy that had moved in was there right at the bike. May had waited outside. I ran out. And he never introduced himself to me. He never said his name. But he said, hey, I'm living there in that bungalow, and I really like your channel. And I said, well, thank you very much. And I said, my name's Paul. And usually at that point, someone will say, yeah, my name's Bob. He says, yeah, I already know your name. He says, I really, really would like to talk to you. And I said, well, okay. I said, I'm leaving right now, but maybe later on tonight, we can hook up and have a cup of coffee. And he said, well, where are you going? And I said, well, I'm going to meet some friends. And he goes, well, can I come? Like, well, you know, it's a little impromptu right now, but maybe when I get home, I'll be home tonight. And how about we just get together and I'll invite you over. I fully intended to. We'll have a cup of coffee and we'll chit chat for a while. But right now we got to blow. And he goes, yeah, okay. And so, man, I left. Sure enough, I came home that night and it was just getting dark. And he was sitting on the, if you want to call it the patio of the little bungalow. And so May went inside and I went up to him and I said, hey, I still didn't know his name. I said, hey, you want to have that? I was going to ask him, do you want to have that cup of coffee? And before I could get those words out, he looked at me and he says, you know, I've been waiting all day to talk to you. And I said, well, I told you I was going to be gone and I'd be home tonight. And that tonight, maybe we could have a cup of coffee. Now I'm getting weirded out by this guy. And he says, well, I've been waiting all day and now I'm hungry, so I'm going to go eat. And off he went. And so I went into the apartment and I told May, I said, listen, You do not engage with that guy. We had this triple lock system on our sliding glass door at the old place, and we only used one. And I told May, I said, you are to triple lock this place, and you are not to leave my side until this guy leaves. You and I are going to be like bread and butter. This guy, I'm not happy with this guy at all. And so they got the message, and we triple locked the place, and it was really weird to have this guy living across from us. 2 days later, we went to Sikihor with Ian and another couple. And I had avoided this guy completely as much as possible. And we went to Sikihor. We spent a couple of days there. We all had a good time. Everybody took a different boat home for some reason. And because everybody left at a different time. So May and I were on the little ferry going from Sikihor back to Mageti. And as we were deboarding, if you will, there he was getting off the boat. And I just looked at him, and he just looked at me. What had happened, he had followed us to Sikihor. And I don't know if he knew where we were staying. I never saw him while we were there. And then that was the next night. May and I went to a place called Spice to have dinner, and he was there. And he came up to our table and he says, "Hey, I made a donation to your channel," and walked out. And May and I went home, and I opened up the channel. He had donated $1. And so, that's a long ass explanation, but it's a true story. You talk about crazy comments. I don't take them seriously here on the internet, but when something like that happens, I took that very seriously. And hindsight being 2020, I should have had a long conversation with my landlord or the police or something, but I didn't. And fortunately, the guy just left after that. Let's see, I bought one Bitcoin in October for $300 and totally forgot about it until last month. That one Bitcoin is now 57,000. That's my money to come to the fills. All right. Yeah. Somebody else was saying that if you bought a Bitcoin when they first came out, you'd be worth 400 million or something like that. But that's one of those things. How do you know? I didn't trust Bitcoin because I was seeing all these people trying to sell it on Facebook and starting these clubs. I'm always leery of all that jazz, kind of like pyramid schemes. But I guess if you buy it legit. Then I heard that you couldn't just buy it. You had to mine it, and it took a lot of electricity. This is all the nonsense that I hear. I don't know if it's true or not, but good on you. I'm happy to see it. I like to see people win. Hello from the suburbs, Salt Lake City, Utah. I miss Thailand a lot. Next year's the Philippines. We'll see how that goes. Well, thank you, Mr. Ben's World, for the super chat. And I like Utah. I lived in Nevada. We used to go up to St. George all the time when my kids were little. We used to go to Zion National Park, and I loved it up there. I thought it was beautiful. And I think that if I was to retire back in the States, I think Utah would be my choice. It just seems to be a very safe, clean, nice people kind of territory. Let's see, you and May are doing well. I haven't been in any of your streams lately. It's good to see you're still crazy and kicking. Yeah, man. Where you been? I'm on a different time zone today. I came on, it's 11 o'clock at night. I got to go to bed. All right, so we'll hang in here for a little bit. Good night. Good luck. Good vibes on your move. Thanks, you brother. Hey, Daryl. Me and baby May are still kicking, brother. Love you to death. Daryl Charities is one of those nice guys. Always has a kind word. You got to dig Daryl. Your friend Gary is in a hotel. Yeah, he is. He's holed up in a hotel. He's trying to get over to Thailand. Of course, he keeps trying to change his mind. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, let's hook up this week. And this is my buddy Jerry and my neighbor, and really funny guy, nice man, beautiful family. And we did a little video together, and we enjoyed each other's company. And I wanted to bounce an idea off of you. Hey, so I'm going to say hi. I'm going to try to put as many of these up as I can right now, kitties, and then I'm going to go to bed because how long have I been on this thing? Jeez, an hour and 40 minutes. Holy smokes. Let's see. Paul pays relatively average rent, but rent is broad. Yes, that's exactly true. It's location, location, location. So that's why I was saying, guys that are going to the Philippines for the first time, I think a great place to vacation right now would be Cebu. If you're just coming for a couple, 3 weeks, I wouldn't recommend Dumaguete because we're kind of slowed down and boring and dull. Like I said, the beach resorts keep opening, then closing, and then it's on and it's off. But it seems like Cebu, you can get a good Airbnb. There's some choices for food. There's beaches. There's some options there. Not advice, just a suggestion. Let's see. Is Harriet here? Oh, here's Harriet. What was the Harriet joke? Is that the same Harriet? Hi, Harriet. We were making jokes about a Harriet a while back. I forgot what the deal was. See, I'm just trying to make sure I don't skip anybody here. Thank you, sir. When in doubt, tell the truth. And I just went down and renewed my goofy visa and ACR card, 6 months. And I felt confident doing it. I was like, because I'm a cheapskate. So it's like if I thought that I could travel in 2 months, which was one of my options, I would have done that. But I said, you know what? Let's just do it for the 6 months and pay the $10,000. Let's see. Here's Harriet. Daryl, charity facts are unless you're married to one of us, you have to leave after 3 years. That's true. But how things are, you cannot get back in. I see him heading back anyway, like the rest. I actually have I have a year and a half left until my 3 years are up. So I think I'm pretty safe. Harriet, I can't remember. Are you friend or foe? There was a Harriet that was on here before. You seem like a nice lady, Harriet. I'm gonna say you are. You're my friend. Robert Sucks, thanks for keeping us company and entertained. We really appreciate you, Paul. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. I really do. That is awesome. Especially since I haven't made any videos or money this month. Oh, no, I can't, you know what's weird is I never knew his name. He never introduced himself. And he was a young guy. And there's more to it. He did some other weird stuff, but it was really weird to see him on the boat coming home from Sikihor. It was really weird when he went into a little fit. It was really weird when we went to a restaurant and then he was there. And then he donated $1 just to let me know he was pissed off because I didn't talk to him. And can you blame me? I mean, this was not a guy that I really wanted to share my life with. And I couldn't figure it out because, like I said, my channel was really small. So it's not like and it still is small. But yeah, some crazy people, man. It's only the one. And the guys that used to troll me a lot seem to settle down too. Yeah. And like I said, I will go home I need to, but it's not for good. It's kind of like a visit. No, it was some American guy. Where am I here? Yeah, for sure. Can we go? Can I just go with you? Harriet's getting a little spunky on us. Settle down, Harriet. Everyone's a little frightened and horny. Okay, so settle down. I signed my divorce paperwork. Go back home. You're still online. What a great day! Were you listening to me in the car? That's too funny. Yeah, Jerry does have a nice channel. Jerry's a nice guy. Jerry's got an interesting story. He told it on Mark's channel. Every man has a story. If you want to hear more about Jerry, go on Mark's channel. He's got a great story. His wife did an interview with Jen, Mark's girlfriend. So that's a good story too. And real nice guy. You guys will enjoy it. I peddle everybody's channel but my own. I love you too. And my usual 1,000 kisses will go to May and one to me. I tell you. Let's see, where did I leave off at? Here it is. All right, good night, kids. Yeah, I'm going to take off. I love you all. Happy birthday. 2 more years and you can pull the trigger on if you got Social Security coming, brother. Yeah, I am. It's in our fifth one. It's called New Orleans, New York Steaks. Not for the Yeah, I could use a good steak. That's one thing I will have when I go to America is a steak. Can't find one here. All right, kids. I know I've probably missed you. Somebody somewhere. Well, Mark's reason for moving is the same but different. I don't know what he gave as a reason. Him and I discussed privately, but mostly it was just kind of like change of view, and we're all getting a little cabin fever, and so we also needed a bigger place, more room, if you will. 1 bedroom's awesome, and I've enjoyed staying here. I have nothing negative to say about this place. In fact, I'll advertise it when I leave. The landlords are awesome. The neighbors are super cool. Everything's good. But at the end of the day, May and I just wanted to have privacy. May wanted a garden, and I wanted an extra bedroom. So we found all that. And we'll see if it works or not. We may be moving again in 2 months. Who knows? We may be moving back in 2 months. Who knows? Oh, Harriet. I think you're one of those. Harriet's not really Harriet. I remember Harriet now. That's right. Harriet was a troll last time. That's right. Okay. Well, the adults are all going to go to bed now, Harriet. So thanks for stopping by. All right, kids. Good night. God bless. Remember, be nice to one another. You never know when you're going to see them next time. All right. Bye.